Chosen one. Listen carefully. Heaven has paused everything around you, so this message could reach your spirit right now. You have walked through valleys so deep that others could not imagine, storms so violent that they should have broken you. Yet here you stand, breathing, present, and stronger than you even realize. The tests were many. The weight was unbearable at times, but you did not quit. And now the heavens declare it is finished. You have passed the hardest test. Every tear, every rejection, every betrayal was not wasted. What others called failure was divine preparation. What others saw as delay was heaven's way of shaping endurance inside of you. You thought the silence meant abandonment. But the silence was the classroom where God trained your spirit to trust Him even when there was no visible sign. You were not being punished, you were being refined. And that refining has produced the gold of faith. Unshockable, immovable, unbreakable, chosen one. You are not ordinary. You were never designed to blend in with the crowd. That is why your road was harder, your pain deeper, your journey longer. God was proving your character in the fire because He knew what was coming next, the release of a lifetime of wealth, favor, and opportunity. And this wealth is not just money, it is wisdom, influence, divine connection, health, and spiritual authority. You will walk in a season where doors open before you, simply because heaven has ordered them to open. Do you remember the nights when you cried, "Lord, I can't take this anymore"? He heard you. Do you recall the mornings when you had nothing left? Yet you still chose to rise, still chose to press forward. Heaven recorded every one of those choices. The hardest test was whether you would give up, whether you would surrender your faith to despair, but you did not. That is why today I tell you, it's over. The test is past. Scripture declares with power in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 12, "Blessed who perseveres under trial, stood the test, receive crown of life." Promised to lovers. This is your confirmation. This is your portion. The crown of life. The crown of wealth. The crown of glory is being placed upon your head. Chosen one. Understand this. The test was never about destroying you. It was about proving you. Heaven could not release wealth to a careless hand. It had to be placed in the palm of one who understands its weight and responsibility. You are that one. You are chosen to carry it. The angels themselves rejoice because they know the moment has arrived for you to step into what was always written in your destiny. Now, as this word touches your spirit, I call you to action. Do not let this message pass without sealing it. Show your agreement in the natural what heaven has already decreed in the spiritual. Like this message, share it so another chosen one may hear. And subscribe so you remain connected to what heaven is pouring out in this season. And right now, as a prophetic act, comment the number 111 below, 111 for alignment, 111 for the completion of testing, 111 for the fresh beginning that follows. Your wealth is not on the way, it is here. Your test is not ongoing, it is finished. The sound you hear is the sound of chains breaking, doors opening, and blessings rushing to overtake you. Beloved chosen one, you made it through, and because you did, your entire life is about to overflow with abundance. Chosen one, Think back to the moments when everything seemed to collapse around you. There were days when you questioned if you had been forgotten, when your prayers seemed to echo into emptiness, and silence became your only companion. That silence was not abandonment, it was the breaking that had to come before the breakthrough. Every crushing weight, every shattered plan, every closed door was heaven chiseling away the old version of you that could not carry the promise. Your breaking was not punishment. It was a sacred process, like a seed that must split open in the dark soil before it can reach toward the light. You too had to be broken so that the hidden life within you could emerge. You cried tears that watered your own growth. You endured rejection that forced you deeper into God's arms. And though the pain was real, it birthed strength you did not know you carried. There were times you thought you lost everything: relationships, opportunities, finances, even your own sense of identity. But in truth, what you lost was not meant to stay. The stripping was necessary to remove distractions and attachments that would have poisoned your destiny. What left your life was never greater than what is arriving. Heaven was making room for the wealth and favor prepared specifically for you. Chosen one. It is written that a potter cannot shape the clay without first pressing it, bending it, and removing what does not belong. You were on heaven's wheel, spinning, pressed, reshaped. The pressure was uncomfortable, even unbearable. Yet it was forming the vessel you are today. And now that the shaping is complete, the potter is ready to fill you with abundance, wisdom, and glory that will overflow into the lives of others. In the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, the prophet wrote, "Révélation await, an appointed time. Though it linger, wait for it. It will come." Chosen one. Your appointed time has arrived. What once felt delayed is now rushing to meet you. The waiting season, filled with breaking and pruning, was always leading here to the fulfillment of every whispered promise, to the arrival of wealth and joy. Understand this. The breaking season was not only about pain, but about proving your endurance. Anyone can praise when life is easy. Anyone can believe when doors swing wide. But you, chosen one, praised through tears. You worshipped in the midnight hour. You clung to faith even when hope seemed thin. That kind of faith moves mountains. That kind of faith attracts heaven's wealth. That kind of faith is why you are stepping into abundance now. When others abandoned you, heaven stood by you. When the world counted you out, God was counting you in. Every lonely night built resilience. Every disappointment sharpened your vision. Every loss positioned you for restoration. You had to experience the breaking, because only then could you understand the depth of breakthrough. Without the darkness, you would never appreciate the light. Without the emptiness, you would never cherish the overflow. Chosen one, lift your head. The ashes you carried are about to be exchanged for beauty. The mourning you endured is being replaced with joy. The heaviness that once weighed you down is turning into a garment of praise. You survived the breaking because heaven always intended for you to see the breakthrough. The hardest part is over. The doors are opening. The release has begun. Chosen one. Remember the nights when no one saw the tears fall, when you had to fight battles in silence, hidden from the eyes of the world. Those were not wasted nights. They were your hidden training grounds. While others thought you were standing still, heaven was watching you grow stronger in the unseen. Every unseen battle built your endurance. Every quiet decision to keep going forged a warrior's spirit inside you. You felt invisible, overlooked, even forgotten. Yet invisibility was part of your preparation. A seed grows in darkness before it is seen. The roots spread deep underground before the first sprout pierces the surface. You were planted, not buried. The darkness was the womb of your destiny. In the hidden places, God was teaching you lessons that no stage or spotlight could teach. The temptation to give up came often. You questioned, "What's the point? Does it even matter if I keep going?" And yet you rose again, and again. Each time you chose to rise, heaven recorded it. Each time you whispered a prayer instead of surrendering to despair, heaven strengthened you. And now, the reward of those hidden training grounds is being revealed. It is through these hidden battles that you learn to depend fully on God. Had everything been easy, you might have relied on your own strength, your own wisdom, your own plans. But the difficulty forced you to discover the depth of divine strength. You came to realize that when you had nothing left, God was your everything. That realization was the treasure hidden in your training. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, second letter, chapter 4, verse 17, "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all." Chosen one, your hidden troubles were never wasted. They were working for you, building a glory that cannot be compared to the pain you endured. Now, understand this clearly. Your hidden training has equipped you for the wealth and influence about to be released. Others may wonder how you carry wisdom beyond your years, or why doors open for you that remain closed for others. It is because you were trained in secret. Your roots went deep, and now your branches will stretch wide. But this is not only about you. Those silent victories will one day be someone else's survival guide. When you speak, people will listen, not because of fancy words, but because your words carry the weight of lived experience. You will lift others because you know what it feels like to be in the pit. You will guide others because you've walked through valleys and come out carrying light. And now I invite you, chosen one, to seal this truth with your own declaration. Comment below these simple words. I hear you. Do not underestimate the power of writing it out. When you declare, I hear you, you are not speaking to me, you are speaking to heaven. You are telling God, I receive this word. I recognize your voice. I will not ignore the call. That act of agreement aligns your spirit with the breakthrough already moving in your direction. Your hidden training is finished. You are stepping out of the shadows. What was once unseen is about to be undeniable. Your life is shifting. Your season is changing. And the glory born in silence is now about to shine for all to see. Chosen one, you have often asked yourself, why am I so different? Why does my journey never look like anyone else's? The truth is, you were never designed to blend into the crowd. You were separated, set apart, and often misunderstood because the hand of God marked you for something greater. Rejection was not a curse, it was protection. Those who turned away from you were unknowingly making room for your elevation. Think of the countless times you tried to fit in, to move with the rhythm of the masses, only to feel discomfort gnawing inside you. That was not failure, it was divine interruption. Heaven refused to let you stay where you did not belong. Your uniqueness was not meant to be hidden, it was meant to set you apart for a purpose others could not carry. you have felt the sting of being misunderstood. Your ideas were dismissed, your presence unwelcomed, your voice silenced. But this too was part of the process. Had they fully embraced you, you might have remained in circles that would have limited you. Their rejection carved out the space where God could expand you. The silence of friends, the betrayal of loved ones, the coldness of community, all of it was chiseling away distractions so you could rise unhindered. Chosen one. The loneliness you endured was a holy separation. You walked roads alone, not because you were unworthy of companionship, but because the assignment on your life demanded clarity and focus. Isolation was your incubator. In those seasons of solitude, you discovered who you really are, not who others told you to be. That revelation is priceless, for it is the foundation of the wealth and abundance you are now stepping into. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 16, a gift opens the way and ushers the giver into the presence of the great. Your separation was heaven's way of preparing your gift to shine before the right people. Those who ignored you will one day watch you stand in places they never imagined possible. Those who overlooked you will see your gift make room for you in rooms of influence and wealth. You must understand, chosen one, that separation is never easy. It tears at the heart. It questions your worth. It tempts you with thoughts of going back to places where at least you were not alone. But had you gone back, you would have forfeited the greatness that was waiting for you. Every step away from the crowd was a step closer to destiny. Every no you received was a yes from heaven. Even now, people may not understand why your life is shifting. They may mock the path you have chosen. They may question your decisions, but you no longer need their approval. The approval of heaven is upon you. The same God who allowed the separation is the God who is now positioning you for elevation. What once felt like loss will soon be revealed as gain. Chosen one. You are being lifted into a season where your uniqueness is no longer a burden, but your greatest strength. The very qualities that made you an outcast in one place will make you a leader in another. The rejection that pushed you out is the force that has pushed you higher. You are not behind, you are ahead. You are not less, you are chosen. The season of separation is closing, and the season of elevation is opening. Those who doubted you will become witnesses. Those who mocked will become silent. And you will walk forward, not bitter, but radiant, knowing that the loneliness you endured was the birthplace of the destiny you now carry. Chosen one. Something in the atmosphere has shifted. You can feel it, even if you cannot explain it. What was once heavy is beginning to lift. What was once locked is starting to move. The spiritual climate around you has changed, because heaven has announced a turning point. The years of hardship are no longer defining your story. The new season of release is here. Have you noticed the small signs, the unexpected favor, the chance encounters, the opportunities that seem to appear out of nowhere? These are not coincidences. They are signals that the heavens have opened, just as clouds shift before rain pours. The spiritual atmosphere shifts before blessings overflow. What you are sensing is not imagination, it is confirmation. Chosen one. You are stepping into a moment where delay is no longer your portion. The prayers you thought were forgotten are rising to the surface with answers attached. The ground that once felt barren is trembling with new life. You endured seasons of silence, but now you will hear the sound of doors opening, chains breaking, and abundance flowing. This shift is irreversible because it was ordained before the foundation of the world. You may still wrestle with doubt, asking, "Can this really be for me? Is it possible after all I've lost?" Hear this truth. Nothing in your past can cancel what heaven has declared over your future. The tests refined you. The pain shaped you. And now the breakthrough crowns you. You are not stepping into this season empty-handed. You are stepping in with wisdom, authority, and strength that could only be formed in fire. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 12. "The Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of his bounty, to send rain on your land in season, and to bless all the work of your hands." Chosen one, this is your season. The heavens are open over you. The work of your hands will prosper. What once failed will now flourish. This shift is not just about external blessings, it is about who you are becoming. You are walking with greater clarity, greater faith, and greater discernment. You can recognize deception faster. You can sense divine timing more clearly. And you carry peace even in uncertainty. That inner transformation is the true sign that the atmosphere has shifted. You are not the same person who entered the storm. You are the refined vessel stepping out of it. Now, because this message has reached you, I ask you to pause and reflect. If it resonates in your spirit, if you feel the confirmation stirring inside, then I invite you genuinely and humbly to help carry this word further. Like this message, not just as a click, but as an act of agreement. Share it so that another weary soul might recognize their own shift in the atmosphere. And subscribe, not out of obligation, but to remain connected to the flow of words heaven is releasing in this season. Your simple action may be the bridge for someone else's breakthrough. Chosen one, the atmosphere has shifted for you. The season of delay has ended. The storehouse of heaven is open. You are moving forward under skies filled with favor. From this moment, nothing can remain the same. The shift has happened, and your new life is unfolding. Chosen one, when God moves, he confirms his word. The stirring in your spirit has not been imagination, it has been prophetic confirmation. You have sensed whispers in your dreams, nudges in your heart, and signs in your path that repeat again and again. These are heaven's way of declaring, the struggle has ended, the new has begun. Think about the timing. Just when you were ready to surrender, a word of encouragement arrived. When you felt unseen, someone spoke life into you unexpectedly. When you doubted, a door cracked open that reminded you God was still working. These are not random occurrences. They are divine fingerprints on your journey. Every sign is heaven's echo, telling you to keep walking forward. Chosen one, God knows that in your humanity, you sometimes wonder, is this really for me? That is why he sends confirmation not once, but again and again. The same message will find you in different places, from different voices, until you realize it is not coincidence, but covenant. Heaven is determined to make sure you do not miss what is being released. The prophet Elijah once stood on the mountain, waiting for God's voice. There was wind, there was earthquake, there was fire, but the confirmation came in a gentle whisper. That whisper changed everything in your life. 2. The confirmation may not always come loud or dramatic. Sometimes it arrives quietly, a repeated number, a scripture on your screen, a word from a stranger. Yet in that quiet confirmation, heaven is roaring. It is done. And we find in the book of Philippians, chapter 1, verse 6, being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. Chosen one. This is the essence of your confirmation. The God who began the work in you has not abandoned it. He is finishing it. The test is complete, and the reward is unfolding. Every confirmation is a signpost pointing you toward the wealth, peace, and favor ahead. When doubt rises, look back at the patterns heaven has woven into your days. Remember the encouragements that appeared right when you needed them. Recall the strength that surged in you even when you felt empty. These are not small things, they are evidence. Chosen one. You must treat confirmation not lightly but reverently. It is heaven's language of reassurance. When the signs arrive, respond with faith. Do not dismiss them as coincidence. Instead, recognize them as heaven's way of anchoring your heart in certainty. Each confirmation is like a seal on a promise, a reminder that you are indeed chosen, seen, and carried into destiny. And now, I invite you to respond in the natural to what has already been declared in the spiritual. As a prophetic act of alignment, comment the number 222 below. Why 222? Because it is the number of agreement, the number of doubled confirmation. By writing it, you are declaring, I see the signs. I receive the promise. I stand in agreement with heaven's word. Let this not be just typing, but your act of faith, your way of saying, yes, Lord, I believe. Chosen one. Prophetic confirmation is all around you. The season of struggle has ended, and the season of wealth has arrived. Walk forward with boldness, for heaven has already declared and confirmed your victory. Chosen one. The battles you faced were not wasted. Every hardship, every sleepless night, every tear shed has been woven into the fabric of your destiny. What you endured has now become your crown of endurance. Others may see only scars, but heaven sees jewels. Each scar, each story of survival has been transformed into glory, resting upon your head. You did not quit when quitting would have been easier. You held on to faith when everything around you urged surrender. That perseverance is what sets you apart. Many begin the journey, but only a few endure until the end. You are among the few. You proved faithful when tested, and now heaven rewards you with honor. Your crown of endurance is not a symbol of suffering, but of victory. It speaks of a person who has walked through fire and emerged, not consumed, but refined. You are evidence that resilience is greater than opposition. The weight you carried was not designed to crush you, but to reveal your strength. Heaven trusted you with trials because heaven knew you would rise. Think about the moments when you said, I cannot go on, and yet somehow you did. That somehow was the breath of God carrying you forward. Think about the times when you felt utterly alone, yet peace wrapped around you in the silence. That peace was not random, it was divine presence. These experiences have become jewels in your crown, reminders of how far you have come and how faithfully you have been kept. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 65, verse 11, you crown the year with your bounty. and your carts overflow with abundance. This word is more than poetry. It is prophecy over your life. Your endurance has not ended in emptiness, but in overflow. The year of hardship has turned into the year of bounty. The season of scarcity is replaced with a season of abundance. Chosen one. This crown you carry is invisible to the natural eye, but undeniable in the spiritual realm. When you enter a room, the atmosphere shifts because your spirit radiates the authority of one who has endured. Demons tremble, not because of your past pain, but because of the glory forged in that pain. Your endurance is your testimony, and your testimony is your authority. This crown is also your reminder. When the new wealth and opportunities begin to flow, you will remember that it was endurance, not comfort, that brought you here. You will steward the blessings wisely because you know the cost of survival. Others may waste what is given freely, but you will treasure what heaven pours out because you remember the price of waiting, the cost of holding on. Endurance has also unlocked compassion in you. You see the hurting differently because you have been there. You understand the lonely because you walked their road. You comfort the broken because you know what it feels like to break. This compassion is part of your crown. It is not just for you, but for those you are called to uplift. And so, chosen one, walk boldly with your crown of endurance. Do not hide the story of your scars. They are proof that you overcame, proof that God's hand never left you, proof that your destiny could not be stolen. Wear your crown with dignity, for it proclaims to heaven, earth, and even hell itself that you are chosen, tested, proven, and victorious. The hardest trials have ended, but their reward remains. The breaking birthed beauty, the waiting produced wealth, the fire forged faith, and all of it now shines as your crown of endurance, placed upon your life forever. Chosen one. There is a divine principle woven into the fabric of life. Seasons change, and so do positions. For a long time, it may have seemed as though you were always beneath, always behind, always last in line. People overlooked you, dismissed your potential, and even mocked the idea that you could ever rise. But what they did not know is that heaven was writing a story where the tables would turn, and now the turning has begun. Those who underestimated you will see what God has placed inside of you. Those who laughed at your small beginnings will watch as those beginnings transform into abundance. They will not be able to deny the hand of God on your life, because the shift is not something you could accomplish by yourself. It will be too sudden, too complete, too powerful for anyone to explain away. Chosen one. Remember the long nights you felt like you were behind. You thought others were advancing while you were stuck. What you did not see was that heaven was reserving your moment. God did not allow you to rise with the crowd because He intended for your elevation to stand out, to testify of divine timing. The tables are not just turning randomly, they are turning by appointment. You endured the humiliation of being doubted. You were sometimes treated as if you had nothing to offer, but these experiences humbled your spirit, shaped your heart, and built in you a quiet confidence that does not depend on the approval of others. Now that the tables are turning, you will not rise with arrogance, but with gratitude. You will not crush those who once dismissed you. Instead, you will walk in grace, knowing that the same God who lifted you can lift them too. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, Verse 15. Although you have been forsaken and hated, with no one traveling through, I will make you the everlasting pride and the joy of all generations. This promise is now alive in your life. The forsaking has ended. The hatred has lost its grip. You are stepping into pride, not the pride of ego, but the pride of being a testimony, a living example of what God can do with one who endures. When the tables turn, the shift will be undeniable. New opportunities will find you without striving. Resources that once seemed impossible will flow into your hands. People who once ignored your voice will now lean in to hear it. And yet, the most powerful part of this reversal is not external, but internal. You will finally see yourself as heaven has always seen you. You are not the abandoned one, you are the chosen one. You are not forgotten, you are remembered. Chosen one. Do not be surprised if people from your past reappear as the tables turn. Some will come curious, others envious, and some repentant. Be wise in how you respond. Do not allow bitterness to poison your blessing. Instead, let your rise be a testimony. Show them what endurance and faith can do. Some will mock still, but others will be moved to believe because they cannot deny your transformation. The tables turning in your favor is not simply about vindication, it is about positioning. God is not just lifting you for your own sake, He is lifting you so that you can lift others. You are stepping into influence not just to enjoy wealth, but to distribute wisdom, hope, and faith. This is how heaven operates. It turns tables not only to honor the faithful, but to bless the many through the few. Chosen one. The season of being beneath is over. The season of being overlooked has ended. You are walking into a divine reversal where honor replaces shame. Abondance replace lack, and influence replaces rejection. The same table where you once sat unnoticed is now the table where you will be served, celebrated, and crowned. The turning has begun, and nothing can stop it. Chosen one. You have reached the place where overflow begins. For years, you lived in survival mode, stretching little into much, making do with scraps, and holding on to hope when resources were scarce. But now, heaven is declaring a different season over your life. The blessings will not come in trickles, but in streams. Not in portions, but in overflow. What once was withheld is now being released with abundance. You will see it in opportunities that align perfectly with your calling. You will feel it in relationships that bring peace instead of pain. You will witness it in doors that open without striving, connections that arrive without manipulation, and resources that multiply in your hands. This overflow is not merely physical wealth, it is emotional healing, spiritual authority, and divine favor. Every area of lack in your life is being touched by abundance. Chosen one. You must remember that this overflow is not an accident. It is the direct result of seeds sown in the hidden seasons. You gave when you had little. You prayed when you felt empty. You stood firm when others crumbled. Those unseen acts of faith have produced a harvest. The harvest is not delayed any longer. It is here, pressing down, shaken together, and running over into your lap. Scripture says in the Gospel of John, chapter 10, verse 10, the thief comes to steal, kill, destroy. I have come, they may have life, life to the full. This fullness is your inheritance. Chosen one. What the enemy tried to steal is being restored. What was destroyed is being rebuilt better than before. What seemed dead is rising with new life. When overflow comes, it may feel overwhelming at first. You are so used to stretching little that you may hesitate to handle much. But do not fear. The same God who sustained you in lack will guide you in abundance. You will not be wasteful, for endurance has made you wise. You will not be careless, for trials have made you discerning. Your hands are ready for what is coming. This season of overflow will also silence the lies spoken against you. People said you would not make it, that you would stay small, that your life would always be marked by struggle. But overflow will testify louder than any word spoken against you. The abundance will speak on your behalf, proving that God's hand has always been upon you. Chosen one. Understand this. The overflow is not only for you. It is entrusted to you so that through you, others may find hope. Your story of going from lack to abundance will inspire faith in those still waiting. Your ability to bless others will become a signpost of God's goodness. You are stepping into a position where your cup runs over, not just to quench your thirst, but to refresh multitudes. Now, as this word settles in your spirit, I ask you to seal it with your own declaration. Write in the comments these simple words. I receive it. 3 words, but filled with power. By writing them, you are saying to heaven, I do not resist the overflow. I open my heart, my hands, and my life to receive it fully. This act of agreement unlocks alignment between your faith and your future. Chosen one. The time of scraping by has ended. The time of overflow has come. Prepare to live not in constant lack, but in constant abundance. For heaven has declared, your cup shall never run dry again. Chosen one. You must understand that this wealth arriving in your life carries a purpose. It is not random, not meaningless, not only for personal comfort. The abundance you are stepping into has an assignment attached to it. Heaven never releases provision without intention. The wealth in your hands is designed to advance both your life and the greater plan of the kingdom. This wealth will allow you to breathe, to live without the constant weight of worry. It will give you freedom to move, to build, to dream again. But more than that, it will become a tool in your hands to bless others, to uplift the broken, to spread light where darkness has lingered too long. Your story is not only about survival, it is about impact. Think about Joseph in Egypt. His position of abundance was not for his own comfort alone, but to save nations during famine. Your story carries the same blueprint. The resources flowing toward you are not just for bills, houses, or security. They are seeds for something greater. They are meant to build, to restore, to expand. The overflow will allow you to walk in generosity, not fear. You will no longer calculate survival but plan impact. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 9, honor the Lord with your wealth, with first fruits of all crops. This verse is a reminder that abundance is sacred. Wealth is not your master, it is your servant. When you honor God with what you receive, you ensure that the flow never dries. When your hands stay open, blessings never cease. Chosen one. The assignment of your wealth is also to position you as a leader. People will look to you not only because of what you have, but because of the wisdom that comes with it. You will demonstrate what it means to prosper, without pride, to rise without arrogance, to receive without forgetting the giver. Your life will show that wealth and humility can walk together, that abundance and holiness can coexist. This is why the enemy fought you so hard in your seasons of lack. He wanted to break your spirit, to make you believe wealth was never possible for you. But now, not only are you stepping into abundance, you are stepping into purposeful wealth. You will not squander it. You will steward it. You will multiply it. And you will use it to leave a mark on generations. Think of the lives that will be touched because of your obedience. The children who will be educated. The hungry who will be fed. The broken who will be lifted, all because you chose to steward your blessings with purpose. This is wealth with assignment. It is not temporary, shallow gain. It is eternal impact written into the story of your life. And now, chosen one, if this word resonates deeply with you, I invite you to respond, like this message, not just as a casual action, but as a sign that you embrace your assignment. Share it, so others may see their wealth in a new light, not as selfish gain, but as divine purpose. And subscribe, not for routine, but to remain connected with the flow of prophetic words that prepare you to walk faithfully in this season of abundance. Your response is a testimony that you are not only receiving, but also aligning with heaven's vision. Chosen one, wealth with assignment is your new reality. You are rising not as one who hoards, but as one who builds. Not as one who boasts, but as one who blesses. The wealth in your hands will echo into eternity because you are chosen not only to receive, but to release. Chosen one. Wealth without wisdom becomes a curse. But wealth entrusted to the wise becomes a crown. That is why your journey was long, why your trials were many, why your pain was deep. Heaven was shaping not just your endurance, but your leadership. What is arriving in your life is more than abundance. It is a mantle of leadership, a sacred trust to guide others in seasons when they cannot see the way. This mantle is not draped on the careless or the arrogant. It rests only on those who have walked through valleys and emerged with humility still intact. You know what it means to lack, so you will not misuse plenty. You know what it means to be overlooked, so you will not abuse influence. You know what it means to suffer silently, so you will not ignore the silent cries of others. This is what makes you fit to lead. Chosen one. Leadership is not about titles or platforms. It is about weight, the weight of responsibility, the weight of example, the weight of carrying light into darkness. The mantle you now wear will place you in rooms where decisions are made, where hearts are shaped, where destinies are influenced. Your voice will matter, not because of volume, but because of truth. The Apostle Paul wrote of leadership in his letter to Timothy, showing that those entrusted with much must first prove themselves faithful in little. You have proven yourself. You were faithful in obscurity, consistent in silence, steadfast in storms. That hidden faithfulness has now called forth visible honor. Heaven does not promote quickly, it promotes rightly. And your promotion is not random, it is righteous. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 7. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Chosen one. Those words are not just the reflection of Paul, they are the reflection of your own journey. You fought. You endured. You kept the faith, and now the mantle rests upon your shoulders. This mantle will also test you. With greater influence comes greater temptation. The enemy will whisper that you should use your position for yourself alone, that leadership is about power, that abundance is about indulgence. But you know better. Your scars remind you that life is fragile, that blessings are sacred, that influence is a stewardship. This awareness will protect you from pride. Chosen one. The mantle of leadership means your life is no longer just about you. Every choice you make will ripple outward. People will look to you for direction, for encouragement, for strength. This responsibility may feel heavy at times, but remember, you are not carrying it alone. The same God who placed the mantle on your shoulders will give you the strength to bear it. Do not shrink back from this calling. Do not say, "I am unworthy. I am not enough." Worthiness was never the requirement. Surrender was. God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called. You are chosen not because of perfection, but because of obedience. You are not stepping into leadership because you demanded it, but because you endured for it. And so, chosen one, walk boldly, lead with integrity, carry the mantle with reverence. Remember that the wealth in your hands is not only provision, but proof that heaven trusts you with influence. Others will rise because you rose. Others will believe because you believed. Others will endure because you endured. That is leadership. That is the mantle now resting upon you. Chosen one. When heaven desires to mark a season, it often speaks through numbers. Patterns repeat. Digits reappear. And suddenly you notice the same sequence again and again on clocks, receipts, addresses, and even in dreams. These are not accidents. They are prophetic confirmations that your breakthrough is unfolding. Numbers are the language of divine alignment. A whisper from eternity that you are exactly where you need to be. Think of how often you have seen a number at the exact moment you were about to give up. Maybe it appeared on your phone when you were crying out for strength. Maybe it showed up in a conversation just as you were questioning your path. Those moments are not random, they are signs. Gentle, yet powerful. Sent to remind you that the author of time is still in control. Chosen one. Heaven uses numbers to affirm timing, just as seasons are measured by days, months, and years. So too are breakthroughs marked by spiritual patterns. When you see these signs, you must pause and recognize God is speaking. These numbers are a divine code, pointing you to promises that cannot fail. According to what is revealed in the book of Psalms, chapter 90, verse 12, teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. This wisdom is not about counting time, but about discerning it. To number your days is to recognize when a season has ended and when a new one has begun. Chosen one. Your new season has already been announced in heaven's calendar. You have seen confirmations before, small whispers, repeated signs, but now heaven intensifies the message. The numbers align not to tease you, but to assure you the waiting has ended, the struggle has been recorded, the endurance has been tested, and the wealth has been scheduled. You are stepping into alignment, and the signs are your evidence. Chosen one. When you honor these signs, your faith deepens. They remind you that you are not abandoned to chance, but guided by design. Every repeated number is heaven's way of telling you, stay the course. Do not waver. The promise is secure. These confirmations strengthen you for the final steps into overflow. Do not dismiss them as superstition. Numbers in Scripture carried weight: 40 days of testing, 12 tribes of Israel, 7 days of creation. Each number carried a meaning. Each carried a message. And now, the numbers you are seeing carry a message for you. They tell you that destiny has shifted, that doors are opening, that wealth is arriving, not later, but now. So, chosen one, respond in faith, right here, right now. Declare your agreement by commenting the number 444 below. Why 444? Because it is the number of foundation, stability, and divine order. By writing it, you are saying, I stand on the foundation God has built. My life is aligned with divine order. My wealth is anchored. My breakthrough secure. Do not underestimate this act. What you declare on earth resonates in heaven. Chosen one. You are walking in confirmation. The signs are surrounding you. The whispers are undeniable. The numbers are proclaiming your season has come. Lift your eyes, strengthen your faith, and step boldly forward. Heaven has marked you. The evidence is before you, and nothing can reverse what has already been written. Chosen one. The lessons you learned in scarcity are treasures you now carry into abundance. Do not despise those years of lack, for they shaped you into someone who can be trusted with plenty. While others may crumble under the weight of wealth, you have been trained to steward it with wisdom. Scarcity taught you discipline. Scarcity taught you gratitude. Scarcity taught you to recognize value where others saw none. In seasons of lack, you discovered creativity. With little, you learned to stretch resources, to find solutions, to innovate in ways others could not imagine. That same creativity will now serve you in abundance. You will see opportunities others miss. You will build where others only consume. You will multiply where others squander. The training of scarcity has made you a steward, not just a receiver. Chosen one. Think back to the times when you had only enough for today. You prayed for daily bread, and God supplied. Sometimes it came through unexpected people. Sometimes through doors you never anticipated. But it always came. That rhythm of trust built your faith. Now that overflow is arriving, you will not forget the source. You will not worship the provision, you will honor the provider. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 20, the wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down. This is the principle of stewardship. Scarcity has made you wise, so that when wealth fills your hands, you will not gulp it down recklessly. You will store, invest, build, and use it for purposes that outlast you. Scarcity also taught you empathy. You know what it feels like to be overlooked, to count coins, to wonder how tomorrow will be met. That memory will guard your heart from pride. You will not look down on those still in their wilderness because you remember your own wilderness. Instead, you will extend a hand, offering hope and help, becoming proof that God raises the lowly to sit among princes. Chosen one. Understand this. Stewardship is not just about money. It is about time, energy, influence, and relationships. Scarcity forced you to use each wisely. You learned not to waste your words. not to waste your energy on meaningless pursuits, not to invest in people who drained your spirit. Those lessons will now guide you as you handle abundance. You will protect what matters, nurture what grows, and release what hinders. You are entering a season where you will manage not only wealth, but also influence. People will look to you, not just because of what you have, but because of how you carry it. Your stewardship will inspire others. Your testimony will not only be that you received much, but that you handled it well. This is the legacy of the chosen ones, not just to inherit, but to multiply. Not just to receive, but to release wisely. Scarcity was never the end of your story. It was the classroom. Now, as wealth flows in, you are equipped to steward it with the heart of a servant and the wisdom of the tested. You will not be careless. You will not be wasteful. You will carry abundance with reverence, knowing it is both a gift and a responsibility. This is the divine balance transformed by scarcity. Entrusted with plenty. Chosen one. There are seasons in life where it feels as though everything is being stripped away. You have known those seasons intimately. Loss touched your relationships, your finances, your opportunities, even your confidence. At times, it felt as though nothing would ever be restored, as if the pages torn from your story could never be rewritten. But what you did not see was that heaven was preparing a reversal so complete that it would leave no doubt about who authored your destiny. Loss was never meant to be your conclusion. It was a chapter, not the whole book. What seemed stolen was only delayed for restoration. What was denied was being reserved for a greater release. What was broken was being positioned for rebuilding. The pain of loss carved out a deeper capacity in you, a space that heaven is now filling with abundance, sevenfold greater than what you lost. Chosen one. The reversal of losses is not simply about giving you back what was taken. It is about multiplication. God does not return things as they were. He restores them better. He gives beauty for ashes, joy for mourning, praise for heaviness. You will not only see the return of what was gone, you will see it magnified, enriched, and renewed. Think of Job, who lost everything, yet was restored with double. His story is not just history, it is prophecy. What you endured echoes his journey, and your restoration will echo his outcome. The years that seemed wasted will be redeemed. The tears that seemed forgotten will be gathered into joy. The time you thought was gone forever will be repaid with acceleration. The Word of God declares in the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 25, I will repay you for the years the locusts have eaten, the great locust and the young locust. The other locusts and the locust swarm my great army that I sent among you. Chosen one. This is the promise over your life. Every loss, every delay, every stripping is now being reversed. Heaven does not merely replace it, repays. Look closely, and you will begin to notice how the reversal unfolds. A closed door will reopen, but with greater opportunity. A relationship once broken will be healed with deeper trust. A dream once buried will rise with clearer vision. You will realize that what was taken in one season has become the seed for a harvest in another. Chosen one. The enemy thought the losses would break you. He thought, stripping away your joy, your peace, your provision would silence your faith. Yet here you are, still standing, still believing, still chosen. That resilience has turned the losses into a testimony What was meant for harm has become a platform for glory. This reversal will not be hidden. Others will see it and marvel. Those who witnessed your loss will also witness your restoration. They will say, "Surely, this is the hand of God." Your story will not be one of defeat, but of redemption. And your testimony will encourage others, still in their season of loss, showing them that restoration is not only possible but promised. Chosen one. Prepare yourself. Restoration rarely looks like the past. It often looks like something new. Be open to the unexpected, for the reversal may not come in the form you imagine. Trust that what is being given now is better than what was taken then. Heaven's mathematics always multiplies. The losses you carried are no longer the end of your story. They are the backdrop for a reversal so radiant that it will overshadow the pain of the past. Scarcity is giving way to overflow. Mourning is giving way to dancing. Emptiness is giving way to fullness. The reversal has begun, and it cannot be stopped. Chosen one. Your story is not just for you. Everything you endured, every valley you crossed, every storm you survived, these were not only about your personal breakthrough, they were shaping a testimony that would reach beyond your circle, beyond your city, even beyond your nation. You are stepping into a season where your life itself becomes a witness to the power of God, and nations will see it. The trials that once seemed unbearable will now become your credentials. People will listen to you, not because of titles or positions, but because of the authority carried in your story. You know what it is to suffer, and you know what it is to rise. That journey gives your words a weight that no classroom or textbook could ever provide. Nations are waiting for voices like yours, voices refined in fire, voices that carry truth without compromise. Chosen one. You may not see yourself as influential on such a scale, but heaven sees differently. Influence is not always about standing on grand stages. It is about the ripple effect of your obedience. Un testimony shared. One life touched. One word spoken in faith can travel farther than you imagine. Your willingness to keep standing has already made you a beacon, and that light cannot be hidden. Scripture says in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14, "You are the light of the world. A town on hill cannot be hidden." Chosen one. You are that light. What once was concealed in pain is now revealed in glory. Nations will see your glow because it is not your own. It is the radiance of heaven shining through you. The enemy worked hard to silence you, to bury your influence under shame, doubt, and rejection. Yet the very places of your deepest pain will become the platforms of your greatest impact. Where you once felt invisible, you will be seen. Where you once felt voiceless, you will be heard. Where you once felt powerless, you will carry authority. Your witness will not be local, but global. Because heaven has written your story into a testimony for nations. Chosen one. This is not a burden, but a privilege. You are not called to perform, but to shine. You are not called to impress, but to witness. The nations do not need perfection. They need authenticity. They need to hear from someone who knows the valley and the victory, who can testify of brokenness and restoration. That is why your voice is rising now. And as this message reaches you, I ask you from the heart, let us not keep this light hidden. Like this message, not as a routine click, but as an agreement that your light will not be concealed. Share it, so that your story and the stories of other chosen ones can travel farther, touching hearts, You may never meet in person. Comment beneath this message, even with just a few words, as your declaration that you are ready to be a witness, and subscribe, not only to remain connected, but to keep fueling the fire of testimony that is spreading across the nations. Your actions may feel small, but they carry eternal weight. Chosen one. The witness of nations is your portion. You are no longer the hidden one. You are the city on a hill, the lamp on a stand, the voice that will not be silenced. The wealth arriving in your life is not only provision, it is also the megaphone through which your testimony will echo. Nations will see. Nations will hear. Nations will believe. Chosen one. You are now walking into a lifestyle of divine wealth. This is not a fleeting moment of provision or a temporary breakthrough. It is a lasting shift, a permanent position where abundance flows continuously. The wilderness taught you survival, but this new season will teach you stewardship in overflow. You are stepping into a rhythm of life where favor, resources, and opportunities align without strain. Wealth in the kingdom is never limited to material gain. It is the fullness of life peace that cannot be shaken, joy that cannot be stolen, wisdom that cannot be bought. It is health in your body, clarity in your mind, strength in your spirit. It is influence that opens doors and authority that commands respect. Money will be part of it, yes, but it will only be one stream in the river of abundance that surrounds you. Chosen one. You will notice how easily things begin to flow. Where you once fought for small victories, blessings will now pursue you. Where doors once remained locked, they will swing open as if on their own. Where relationships once drained you, new connections will arrive that uplift and align with your purpose. This is divine wealth, not forced, not stolen, not temporary, but ordered by heaven itself. We find in the book of Psalms, chapter 1, verse 3, like a tree by streams of water, yields fruit in season, leaf not wither. Whatever prospers, chosen one. This is your reality now. You are the tree planted by living waters. Your roots are deep. Your fruit is abundant. And your season of withering has ended. Whatever you put your hands to will prosper. Not for a moment, but for a lifetime. Understand this. Divine wealth is not loud. It does not need to boast. It is steady, consistent, undeniable. Others may flaunt riches that come and go, but your wealth will remain because its source is eternal. You will carry yourself with quiet confidence, knowing you are sustained by something greater than markets, trends, or chance. Your wealth is covenant, wealth promised by God and protected by His word. This new lifestyle will also shift your perspective. You will no longer live with a survival mindset, counting pennies and worrying about tomorrow. Instead, you will live with vision. You will dream bigger, plan longer, and build stronger, because you know the resources will meet the vision. Scarcity trained you to appreciate. Abundance will train you to expand. Chosen one. There will also be peace in this wealth. Many who chase riches never find rest, but you will carry both abundance and serenity. You will sleep without fear of loss, walk without fear of betrayal, and live without fear of collapse. Your wealth is guarded by divine order, and no scheme of man or attack of the enemy can uproot it. The life you are stepping into is not ordinary. It is marked by supernatural flow. Where others strive, you will glide. Where others compete, you will stand apart. Where others exhaust themselves chasing, you will simply attract. This is not because of who you are in yourself, but because of who you are as God's chosen one. Embrace this season with gratitude and humility. The lifestyle of divine wealth is not a dream, it is your reality. You are stepping into days where abundance surrounds you, nights where peace holds you, and years where prosperity follows you. The struggle has ended, and the flow has begun. You are walking in divine wealth, and nothing will ever be the same. Chosen one. The journey has been long, the road uneven, and the battles fierce. Yet, through it all, you remained faithful. And now, the moment has come where your identity is sealed, not as a struggler, not as a wanderer, but as one crowned for eternity. The crown upon your life is not of fading gold or temporary glory. It is the eternal mark of one who has endured, overcome, and fulfilled divine destiny. The crown is not given lightly. It is placed only on those who refuse to surrender in the darkest valleys. You carried pain, but pain did not carry you. You bore loss, but loss did not define you. You stumbled, but you rose again. Every act of perseverance, every whisper of prayer, every moment you chose faith over fear has forged this crown that now rests upon you. Chosen one. Crowns are symbols of identity. Kings wear them to show authority. Victors wear them to show triumph. And you wear yours to reveal your eternal chosenness. The crown is heaven's way of saying, "This one belongs to me. This one is marked. This one is chosen." It is not only about what you have received, but about who you have become. You are no longer the same. You are transformed. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, first letter, chapter 9, verse 25. Everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that will not last. But we do it to get a crown that will last forever. Chosen one. The trials were your training, and now your crown is eternal. It cannot be stolen, tarnished, or broken. It shines not because of earthly light, but because of heavenly fire. This eternal crown is more than reward. It is responsibility. With it comes a call to walk with dignity, to live with purpose, to shine with humility. You are not crowned for pride. You are crowned for service. You are not crowned for show. You are crowned for impact. Your crown is both honor and mission, reminding you that your story is not finished, but elevated. The wealth arriving in your life is part of this eternal crown, not wealth as the world defines it, fleeting riches and fragile success, but wealth that echoes into eternity, wealth of wisdom, wealth of influence, wealth of testimony. These are treasures that cannot fade. These are the riches that mark you as one set apart. Chosen one. You may still wonder, why me? The answer is simple, because you endured. Many began the journey, but not all finished. Many carried dreams, but not all carried faith. You did. You remained when others walked away. You trusted when others surrendered to doubt. And that endurance has written your name into the story of the crowned ones. Do not look back with regret. Every wound has become a jewel. Every scar has become a symbol. Every tear has become a gem. Together they form the eternal crown that rests on your head. You are living proof that suffering is never wasted, that pain is never final, that endurance always leads to glory. So walk boldly, chosen one. Lift your head high, not in arrogance, but in gratitude. You are crowned for eternity. You are sealed in destiny. And nothing, no trial, no enemy, no shadow can remove what heaven has placed upon you. Chosen one, you have walked through the full journey of this word, from the breaking to the breakthrough, from the test to the crown. Your story has been unveiled, piece by piece. You now see that none of it was wasted. Every valley prepared you for the mountain. Every scar prepared you for the crown. Every moment of lack prepared you for a lifetime of wealth. And now you stand, not as the forgotten, but as the chosen, marked for eternal glory. This is not the end. It is the beginning of your new season. The pages ahead are filled with abundance, influence, and divine wealth that will not only transform your life, but touch countless others through you. You are stepping into joy, overflow, and peace that cannot be shaken. What heaven has declared over you will not be reversed. You are chosen. You are crowned. You are unstoppable. And as we close this prophetic journey, I invite you sincerely, like this message if it has spoken to your spirit. Share it so that others walking in silence may find their confirmation. And subscribe so that you remain connected to words that remind you of your calling. Finally, comment below to seal this truth. Your testimony is still being written, and your agreement in this moment declares that you receive it fully. Chosen one, go forward boldly. Wear your crown. Walk in your wealth. Shine your light. The world has been waiting for you.